is that there's a lot of people going to Ontario right now, from Ontario to Calgary, and they're buying fool's gold, like they're buying stuff in Calgary they know nothing about.
We don't have that out in
I
Alberta.
feel
So
like Alberta's like the Texas of Canada,
yeah,
like when things were
yeah,
happening with COVID, they were kind of doing their own thing over there. Their rules are a little bit different. They got a stampede, they wear cowboy hats and boots, and they do things a
yeah,
little bit differently. One of the critiques that people are going to say, or they're going to be thinking right now as they're hearing this podcast, because we've had people on the show talk about it, is that there's a
hmm
lot of people going to Ontario right now, from Ontario to Calgary, and they're
hmm
buying what do they call that? Fool's gold, like they're buying stuff in Calgary they know nothing about. It's in
hmm
areas that don't make any sense.
hmm
They think they can assign it and that they can't do that because there's no assignment market out there. They
hmm
think that it's going to be renting at like $2,100 a month rent, but it's only going to be 1,600 because the whole building was bought by a bunch of Ontario people and they're all going to be leasing it at the same time. Like there's a lot of these storylines going on out there. So like, why are you guys different? Why is the Calgary investment opportunities that you guys have different from some of the other ones that people are criticizing?
So I can literally say I am the person that started this whole train. Because if you go back and look at 2019, if anyone was buying investment properties in Calgary in 2019, they weren't. It started it with a project
I'm
called
talking about in the
Minto.
last like year or two. Like this is
Oh, and I'm
yeah.
still doing it. I'm still
Yeah,
doing
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
doing it. I'm still doing it right now. So how I'll answer that question, it's no different than if you're buying in the Toronto market, either when you're buying in pre-construction properties. And when I look at the demographics of what is happening in Alberta and Calgary. So when I take a 20-year approach, because everything I look at, so we talk about assignment market, anyone I talk to, I hate assignments. I think they're terrible. I always sell to buy and hold. So that critique is, if you're talking to me and you're like, Alex, I want to buy a property in Calgary and to flip it, then I'm like, I'm probably not the right person to talk to because I'm not going to endorse that. I don't think that's a good investment strategy. Never, because it just flows into, well, number one, you set yourself up if the market's down to lose money. So never put yourself in a situation where you have to sell. Number two, from a tax perspective, it's a terrible tax vehicle as well because you're not going to get the capital gain exemption on that. So I take 100% of profit into income. So I can take pennies on the dollar by selling an assignment, but if I hold the property over long term, I can build significant wealth. So I don't believe in assignments. But when I look at the 20-year horizon, and this is Stats Canada data, 20-year horizon on Alberta and Calgary. In 20 years, the population of Alberta is going to grow by 48%. It's the fastest growing population in Canada for a province. Ontario is going to grow by 24% during that same period. So it's going to double the rate of Ontario. There's only actually three provinces that are going to increase by population. Ontario, Alberta, and British Columbia. Alberta growing the fastest. It's going to have a net swing of 1 million people. So British Columbia currently has more people than Alberta. Alberta will have more people in British Columbia in 20 years. And Calgary is going to get an outsized portion of that growth, being the population and economic capital of Alberta. They're going to grow by 67.5% at 1 million people over the next 20 years. So all those individuals will require roofs over heads. Now, in regards to on the rental side, when people are buying, because I focus on pre-construction properties that we're in the process of opening a resale division in Calgary. People like buying new properties and they don't want to deal right up front on the mortgage side and on the leasing side. And these properties do come with rental guarantees. Though I do advise people to opt out of the rental guarantees because I do believe they will do better on the open market. Is there an absorption period? Absolutely, but there's always an absorption period in that first year when if I'm selling a building has 300 units and those 300 units are coming on the market. They don't all come on the market at the same time, but they come on the market over a 3 to 4 month period. It'll take time to rent all those out. But after 1 year, that usually dissipates. And again, I'm seeing the same thing. I see the same thing in Toronto. But the idea is that people like the new construction, they get new product. They don't have to deal with maintenance and renovations on the property. They're not dealing with mortgages and leasing right off the bat. And they do prefer that. And one of the areas that we've seen the best growth in the Northeast, and if you ask anyone in Calgary, they say the Northeast is terrible, but it's seen the most growth over the last few years because that's where the new Canadians have been moving. So it's just like in, I had the same conversations with people about Hamilton a number of years ago. I was buying in Hamilton before other people were buying in Hamilton. I bought apartment buildings in Hamilton, and people said, "Why are you buying in Hamilton? It's the armpit of Ontario. It's a terrible place. People get murdered there and everything like that."
Hey guys, thanks for watching our clips channel. Why don't you go and check out some more clips? We got lots of other good content somewhere over here. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.
Boom.
That was good.
That was good. I like that. That was good.